Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and a warm welcome to this week's Walking Wednesday. And yeah, it's neither warm nor is it particularly welcoming right now. Oh well. Seems that, I don't know why, but the image seems blurrier on this phone for some reason. I don't know if that's just because it's low on battery and I'm charging it as we go along, or something else. Not quite sure. Either way, because it was raining before, and because I'm still kind of like weaker than usual and still a bit of a headache, probably best if I just make this as a quicker one. And also, nothing much really happened this week. I'm trying to think in interest of screenwriting what we did. That was basically the last day before our big submission, which I would talk about, but again, it kind of ruins a bit of a gacha project that I was working on, because I was trying to kill two birds with one stone with that one. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I might as well not talk too much about that. We were all kind of stressed out about that kind of thing. Oh wait, no, that was last week. That was the week before that. Sorry. What we did last week was talking about writing for radio, which is something that I've been interested in for quite some time. I thought the Encelado script could work well as a radio broadcast, but because obviously Dylan offered to animate it, I was not going to do that, and also because that was the original idea anyway. As for... I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh yeah, I do that a lot all the time, but more so when I'm sick, and I just stepped into a puddle. That was fun. Yeah, so yeah, I've been interested in writing for radio for quite a while, and it seems that the way that it was presented, the actual lecture, a guy who was our seminar tutor and has been writing for years, he's done some Emmerdale episodes and such, he actually said, oh, you know what, I never thought of writing for radio, but now I'm thinking of doing it. So clearly, the actual lecture that influenced other lecturers. That just shows you it was pretty good. I also listened to some very good intros and to some radio dramas. Of course, because we listened to the intros, the idea is that we check them all out later on. I've got them written down. I've yet to do so, but we'll do them in some time. No, see, my first instinct was to try and talk about what happens if you write a series for radio and how they would do that. Apparently you only get 5 episode slots or something now because they're cutting down and stuff like that, which is disheartening to say the least. But, oh well, c'est la vie. That's what the BBC do, which is kind of the only radio outlet that still is out there. I don't know. Something to investigate into later on. Speaking of writing, that's kind of what I've been doing most of this week in terms of because with the beginning of season 2 of Mutant Girl, which I'll get to in a second, I've been consulted by a lot of people, working on some other writing stuff. So the thing is that particularly Aidan the Best, he's been playing Script Doctor with a lot of stuff that I've been working on, particularly for the Mutant Girls series, which is interesting because I feel like I'm getting him more into the spirit of writing for gacha, which is almost like a micro discipline of its own, I guess, because he writes a lot of stuff on Minecraft and has to bear in mind certain limitations in terms of like body actors and stuff. For example, in his shows, he will limit the characters per scene due to the amount of actors he would need to actually log in and portray them himself, or them themselves, which makes sense. In terms of writing for gacha, that's not an issue because of the team and the crew and everything, but also what can be represented visually in terms of the production stuff. But yeah, it seems like something that I feel like if he picked up writing for gacha, he'd be pretty good at it by this point. except for maybe stuff in terms of show don't tell, because you know that that cliche, well, not that cliche, the the cliche phrase, I guess, of show don't tell, which really applies. I tried to dodge several things at once. Do I go forward? Do I go there? Do I dodge around? I don't know. I slipped. That was a thing. Right. It's not too bad. It's just like my right shoe appears to be splashed ever so slightly. Oh well. No time to get cold feet. That was awful. Anyway. Obviously, season 2 of The Mutant Girl. That's the big one. So, Mutant Girl season 2. That's for me into some good reception, I must say. People saying that it's the best one yet, which is great. People liking the thumbnail, maybe not so much as the first 3 that Naseeb did, but still, I'm doing what I can in terms of making those. I don't have Ibis paint, so I can't go over the outlines like Naseeb did. But all in all, I was pretty satisfied with the actual way it turned out. So yeah, I guess that's fully a go. In terms of Stromanov, that kind of slowed down because of the fact that I was trying to recover and not do many projects, and not have to micromanage the actual skin makers team and put them together again. But I guess I'm gonna have to do that, because then it just became writing mini-series and not the actual designs that we were supposed to be doing and helping to actually start that filming process. But yeah, and also in terms of the actual cast, that's another issue, because well, there wasn't much of it that was left over. What I mean is not that, you know, we had the introduction of Felix and Agatha, who, by the way, Agatha was the part that Caroline was supposed to play originally. She was actually brought into Buttercore by Shiny, or at least, you know, brought to my attention, then I hired her into Buttercore. You know how that goes. But she was meant to play Agatha, so it was finally the role that she was intended for the entire time. So yeah, in terms of cast, we don't have limitations there, but what I mean to say is that we had some people missing. Like, for example, Roxy, who, by the way, now I know why she hasn't been online. She's actually been told to stay away from electronics for health reasons. So, therefore, it kind of makes it difficult to do stuff like voice acting, server stuff, etc. I'm waiting for a car to pass, by the way. There we go. And, what was I going to say? So there was that. And in terms of Adri, of course, Spartan Gaming, this is the first time that he hasn't been the voice of Julius, and I've had to fill in. People have said they like my portrayal of Julius, but obviously it's no comparison to Spartan Gaming, who really made the role his own. And also, even though I am the writer and I'm the person who can approximate Julius the most, I've been, obviously, because I've been writing this show now for 11 episodes, I've written the character around him and the way that he would say certain things. Because that's the thing, when I start writing shows, it tends to go the way that the characters are predefined for the most part, but then when the actors come in and start doing the voices for them, gradually the actor's voice gets taken more and more into consideration by me, and then it gets molded into the character. Exceptions are people like Genevra, Raina, I guess Sebastian, Liam Bryan, you know, those ones who have had several people voice them, even Pete to an extent. But anyone who's had multiple people do the voices, usually it turns out that they're less defined around them. So yeah, And also now Mimi is missing too, but she managed to do her recording stuff before she left. So there's the question now as to when our next recording session is. But that's no idea. Congratulations to Alyssa Scott, who actually did the opening line in the actual episode. She was in the Stromanoff cast, and I just pulled her in to do Mutant Girl. That's what happens. As soon as you're in Buttercall, you're in Buttercall. That's what I can say. As long as you're around, of course. Then you get put into stuff. Slowly but surely. So yeah, honestly, I think that's probably it. I submitted an application to do a festival as well for playwriting, but I'm not going to talk too much about that because that's less of a certainty. So who really knows? Yeah, so I think I'm just going to leave it there. It's been Director's Study Week, so I haven't been into university. I've just been... you notice that... you might not see this, but I'm actually in Crawley right now, which is where my grandmother lives. And I've been back home with my parents and brother, and just spending the week there, which of course is just as fun as it should be, or just as relaxing as it should be anyway. So I think that's basically it. I mean, who knows, I might be on to do some more writing stuff tonight, or I might actually try and get some sleep. Only time will tell. But in the meantime, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. And on that note, until next time, farewell.